more we work on our limiting beliefs, the more we can create new beliefs that can be empowering and that can take us to the life that we want.
Wow.
Because then, and it can work also for work.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do burnout coaching, sometimes it's burnout management. So sometimes the person is still at work, continues to go to work every day, and they're not on sick leave or anything. They're still like in the middle of it. And so what we do is that we look into, one of the things that we do is we look into what is it that I need to create in terms of new belief about the workplace.
Okay.
So that I can start looking at the good in my workplace. If the environment is actually not unhealthy, which sometimes happens. Sometimes the environment is really toxic and the only thing that the person needs to do is remove themselves from that environment. But sometimes, like when I burned out, I was working at the Éducation Nationale and no one was really putting pressure on me but myself. And I was trying to be a perfectionist. I was trying,
perfect.
I was trying so hard to do all those things. And I probably had like 25 of the 30 behaviors that come into play for burnout.
Wow.
It was crazy. But I didn't have a terrible boss who was abusing me or whatever. I wasn't in an unsafe environment in the sense that I didn't have like coworkers who were bullying me or any of that. Okay, it wasn't really a toxic environment. It was just the pressure that I put on myself. And so, because there's 3 different elements in every problem that we have, and so it works for burnout, but it also works for our everyday life, is the environment. Okay, so it can be the work environment, the social environment, and it's mostly our childhood.
Yeah.
Okay. But our childhood, the way that we created our relationships, it influences the way that we're creating our relationships now. Okay. So the way that we learned that relationships work, that love, what love is, it influences what we're experiencing in terms of relationship. And then our relationship to ourselves. So we need to change all 3 in order for our life to change.
I see.
So if I change my relationship to myself by being kinder to myself, by practice of self-understanding, self-love, self-respect, self-care, then I can create something a little bit more pink in that area. And then I can also, because I'm practicing self-love and self-respect, I'm not going to have the same relationships. Because oftentimes in burnout, but also in the relationships where love is conditional, once we start noticing what real love is about, we don't accept the same things. And when people start abusing us and telling us like, oh, oh, you look stupid, or oh, you shouldn't have done that, and they start not just saying you shouldn't have done that, but kind of like pressing, being like, until it hurts,
press the button.
Yeah. Then we start noticing it first.
Yeah, you have the awareness.
And then we start being like, wait, that's actually not okay. And we can practice setting healthy boundaries and being like, this is okay, this is not okay.
Okay.
And there's some people who will be like, I'm so sorry, you're right. And they're ready to go to the next step and actually practice respecting you. And because if they're not respecting you, they're probably not respecting themselves.
True.
It's hard to give to someone what you don't really have for yourself. So some people are ready for that. And some people are going to tell you, get the hell out of my face.
Yeah. And
they
get angry.
Like, and they're going to get mad and they're going to say that you're the problem. And they're going to try to tap into the you're not good enough.
Yes, they were started. Yeah. attack you.
Yeah. And those people, we cannot change them. And so we need to let them go.
We need to
Because practicing self-care is also practicing the love of healthy relationships. And if it's a healthy relationship, and if I spend time with that person, it makes me feel good, and I feel happy after, then that's wonderful. But there's some relationships that sometimes drain us. And sometimes at the end of, okay, you meet them once, you feel drained.
Yeah, feel drained.
And then you're like, okay, maybe they were just having a bad day.
Yeah.
Let's give them a second shot. Second chance. Let's see what happens. I believe in second chances. But not 100 chances. And when we don't practice self-respect, we give not just 100 chances, we give a gazillion chances. And we're like, you know what?
True.
You can walk all over me, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. No. So we give them a second chance. We can also try to have a conversation and say, actually, this is not okay. See what happens. If the person is ready to take that into consideration, or if the person's like, or they say, okay, I'm so sorry, and then they don't
really act
differently after. Okay, and then we take the conclusion.
I see.
We reach a conclusion, which is, do I want to continue being in that person's life?
Yeah.
Does that person do me good? Okay. People can have a bad day, they can have a bad week, they can have a bad year, but if they took it out on me,
that's not right.
And until I become, and I don't think I have reached that point yet, until I become completely emotionally independent and can handle anyone being mean to me but just brushing it off, I will need people in my life who are actually kind to me.
Breathe a good energy.
Yeah.
Lift you up instead of draining you down.
Because why would I continue to surround myself with people who are hurting me?
True.
There was someone at some point who said, I'm not a volunteer for abuse. And I was like,
Exactly.
No one should be a volunteer for abuse. But some of my clients, when I talk to them and we start naming things, I'm like, okay, out of all the relationships that they're describing, not many are healthy. Sometimes none of them are healthy. And we start looking at, okay, how can I create, is there conversations that I can have to try to make those relationships healthier? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes they've tried.
Yeah, it's the person.
And then you can't change other people.
Exactly.
So then it's like, okay, you can't have those relationships be healthy.
You need to leave.
You need other relationships that will be healthy. And sometimes I am wide aware that the only relationship where the person is taken care of is their relationship with me. And I'm like, we're going to practice.
Exactly.
And you're going to understand what it's like to be heard, understood, taken care of. And sometimes for the first time in their life. You're going to practice with me, and then your brain is going to start understanding that actually that's possible, right? And that's okay, and that maybe can even be safe.
Okay.
And then they can start looking for that in the world as well, and be like, okay, if Fabiola can do it, maybe other people can do it.
True.
Maybe not everybody is violent. Maybe not everybody is abusive. Maybe not, you know? And so then they can start creating new friendships and knowing that they deserve to be treated well, with respect, with love.
Exactly.
And that is fundamental. And one thing that's great is when we notice a pattern, we're like, okay, in all my relationships, I've always done this, and it's never worked. And we take a break.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can write it down. Okay, we can be like, I am done with this pattern.
Yeah.
You know, or we can just like, and that's what I did. Before I met my husband, that's what I did. I was like noticing that none of the guys I was dating could give me what I was looking for. And I was like, this is not working. So I was like, okay, I'm done with guys. I'm done with men. This is it. And I was like, maybe I'm gonna be a spinster.
Yeah, that's our, you know? Yeah, there's people.
And maybe I'm gonna be that teacher, because at the time I was getting ready to become a teacher. Maybe I'm gonna be that teacher who has 100 kids every year, who treats them as her own, who loves them as her own, and I'm gonna be that girl. And it's only through accepting that as a real option and making peace with that that I think the world opens up.
Okay.
That's what it feels like. Every time there's been obstacles on the path to what I thought I wanted, it was only by saying, actually, maybe another option could be okay, and I could be fine with option B, even though I've been chasing option A forever. It's not working. So maybe let me consider option B, and let me see if I can be at peace with option A and with option B.
Okay.
And in my experience, it's only once you reach that peace that either option C comes up out of nowhere, or option A, the path clears out. Okay, but it's only through that sort of like radical acceptance of reality.
Acceptance.
Most important. So important. Really transformative. Accepting this is reality. Accepting maybe like there's certain things that I don't control. I don't control who I meet. I can control who I date, but I don't control who says yes to dating me. Okay? So, and maybe I'm going to be that girl. And maybe it's okay.
You accepted the worries, what you think the situation it is.
But it's not seeing it as the worst case scenario anymore. It's seeing it as a valid option. And knowing that, sure, society's like, you need to get married, you need to have kids, you need to, you know, but not everybody does it. And I refuse to believe that the people who don't do it are the least happy people. Being in relationships in general has been proven to be one of the things that helps people be happy.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's not just the romantic relationship. And some of the happiest people that I know are not in a relationship. I mean, they're not married. They're not. And they are some of the most luminous people I've ever met. So I think there's not just one path. Society tends to make us feel like there is one path. And it's kind of like we're being brainwashed really early on with like, you know, Cinderella and all those things.
Exactly.
You know? Like, and then we started thinking, maybe, and it's just limiting belief. One more limiting belief.
True.
Maybe if I'm not in a relationship, it is proof that I'm not good enough. It is proof that I'm not lovable. Well, it's just proof of nothing. It's just proof that I'm alive on this planet and that I'm not in a relationship. That's all it proves. But we interpret it. And our worst fears come to play and tells us, you know, panic.
Yeah.
And when we let go of that, then we can, and then when we meet people, we're not so desperate of like, please be different.
Exactly.
Please. Otherwise it means so much.
Yeah, that was marry me today. I want to have kids. Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. And there's so many people who go into relationships with that intention of
course,
proving to their environment, see, I can also get married, I can also have kids. But they actually never really wanted to be parents. Deep down, they maybe were not really ready to be in a relationship deep down. Maybe not ready at all to be parents. And then I coach them or I coach their kids. Because being a parent is a big job. You need to be ready for it. It is. You need to have worked through a lot of your baggage to be able to be a good parent. And it's a lot. And not everybody's made for that. And that's why I love that movie, Eat, Pray, Love. I don't know if you watched it.
I don't. Oh yeah, what a movie about it?
Oh my god. Okay, that movie is this one woman who is in a relationship and her husband really wants children.
Okay.
And she realizes she's not sure, and she can't really quite put her finger on it. But she doesn't actually want to do that. And she has the courage to admit that they're not on the same page and to let him go because he wants to build a family and he wants all those things that she cannot give him. And it's really hard when we're not on the same page with someone. But then she goes into a whole trip to like find herself.
Okay.
Because she feels like she kind of got lost in her relationships and in the world, in all the injunctions of society, and she wants to go back to who she is. And I feel like that's everybody's life should be kind of like that, like realizing where it is that you don't really fit in with what society tells you to do. Because we all have those moments where we're like, actually, I'm different.
Yeah.
But we're all different, so we're all the same.
Yeah.
It's like, but we have those moments where we feel different. And it's so important to actually not be ashamed of how different we are.
Okay.
And a lot of us fall into guilt and shame and like try to hide that part of us and try to be like, no, look at me, I'm totally the same as you, I'm the same as everybody, please love me, please love me, please love me, please love me, please love me.
Yeah. Well, desperate too. Looking for.
And despair is not very attractive.
No.
In the sense that it's not going to attract the right people. It's going to attract people who will find that attractive. So the relationship is not actually really going to be healthy.
I see.
Because it's going to be people who think that it's only when you're desperate that you're worthy. That's not great.
Yeah. No.
Because what if there's a point where you stop being desperate?
Yeah.
And where you start thriving? Those people, can they handle it?
That's a really good point. That's why people says when you really in the bottom of your life, whatever, depressed or not found before you found yourself, you cannot find the real life. That's probably the truth. Yeah, because the person probably not see who really you are. But you're really thriving, probably that like they don't like it. They want you depressed sometimes.
Sometimes they need you to be depressed.
So they can protect you, control you better.
Yeah. Either because they want to be the hero in somebody's life, or because they have bad intentions, which are to control you and to keep you small and to, which is a way of saying, look, I'm much better. Like, if I push someone down, I look taller.
Yes.
So it's very important to be careful when we get into a relationship with someone. Where am I in my life? Am I thriving? Am I not thriving? Because it's the same when I'm thriving. the person who falls in love with me when I'm thriving, I think it was Marilyn Monroe who says, if you don't love me at my worst, you can't handle me, you can love me at my best.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I understand this is, if you only love me when I'm on top of the world, the day that I feel bad because something happened and because I'm not okay that day, will you still be there for me?
Exactly.
Or are you just a fair weather friend? Yeah. And sometimes it's a fair weather boyfriend, husband, partner. Okay.
Sure.
And then that becomes really problematic. So it's figuring out when, and sometimes you don't really know going in if the person is only going to be there when you feel horrible, only going to be there when you feel great, or if they can handle both.